Marco es un médico rehabilitador que es jefe de departamento de medicina interna y de rehabilitación de 5 hospitales en Italia, que conocí hace poco y que la verdad es que me llamó la atención lo entusiasta que es en cuanto a la rehabilitación y especialmente en cuanto a la neurorrehabilitación. Y me comentaba que precisamente por esa dispersión geográfica que tienen de 5 hospitales en un área muy grande, etcétera, pues que tenían un proyecto de telerrehabilitación del ictus y le dije, tienes que venir a Canarias a contárnoslo en las cuartas jornadas. Y aquí está. Así que, Marco, cuando quieras, nos cuentas vuestra experiencia.
Gracias. Gracias is the only word that I know in Spanish. Also, buenos días, buenas tardes, adiós. So, unfortunately, I have to speak in English for you. I'm Italian, but I love Spain. I love Spanish language, but to realize a speech that you can understand, I have to write and to speak in English. Okay, thank you very much, Manuel, for your kind invitation. Thank you very much for ICOT. It's a really pleasure, it's an honor to be here. Just to explain our activities and our project that is not only for ictus, but for telerehabilitation in general. Okay. When we're talking about the telerehabilitation, we have to speak about the advantage and the disadvantage of telerehabilitation. And in each area, we have 4 items. Which is the advantage of a telerehabilitation? That was the meaning that we start to create this project. First, increased accessibility. In fact, patients in remote or underserved areas can access, and this is our problem, we have mountain areas and people are far from our clinics, can access a specialized care without the need for travel, which is especially beneficial for individuals with mobility limitation. The second, enhanced continuity of care. In this model, the patients can maintain consistent rehabilitation programs from home, reducing interruption in therapy. Third, remote monitoring, personalized adjustment, and self-management. In fact, the physiotherapist, and as therapist, I talk about the physiotherapist, the speech language therapist, and the neurophysiological therapist, can remotely monitor a patient progress and adjust rehabilitation plans in real time, based on data received, making rehabilitation more personalized. And this is kind of rehabilitation I will show you after. You can do in synchronous or asynchronous mode. And then cost and time efficiency. Rehabilitation can lower costs related to travel and clinic visits, as well reduce the time burden for both patients and caregivers. But the disadvantage of telerehabilitation, because there are disadvantages. Limit access to technology, because patients without access to reliable internet, devices, or digital literacy may struggle to participate, creating a gap in access for older or socioeconomically disadvantaged populations. Reduce physical interaction, and this is why I will show you with the guidelines on NICE, of the NICE of England, 2003. They talk about this one. Many rehabilitation exercises benefit from hands-on guidance. In fact, sometimes when I talk with the physiotherapist, or the first time when I talk with the physiotherapist about the telerehabilitation, I say, hey, doctor, we will not touch more the patient? No, we continue to touch the patient. But it's a strategy to enhance the strategy to take care of the patient. The physical contact is fundamental rehabilitation, which are challenging to replicate virtually. Potential decreased engagement, because if we think that we can treat the patient only with the telerehabilitation, we are crazy. Without the structured environment of the clinic, some patients may reduce motivation or adherence to their rehabilitation program, potentially affecting outcomes. And the technical issues are device malfunctions. At the beginning of the project, we have had some problems. Connectivity problems can disrupt the session. And when you disrupt the session, you lost the data. And usually the doctors and the physiotherapists are not happy. Me too. So we work a lot with this industry just to have the good functioning of the system. Well, what about telerehabilitation and neurological disorder? We know that neurological disorders are the leading cause of disability. This is not, I don't say to you for the first time, you know very well, in the daily life, and the second cause of death worldwide. Parkinson, multiple sclerosis, and stroke form more than 38% of neurological disorders that cause disability adjust life. And one of the consequences, principal consequence, is the deficit of balance. So we have the patient that you don't stay sitting corrected, or you don't stay corrected in orthostasis, and when they walk. So the evidence is growing for the usability in this study of the virtual reality in neurological rehabilitation, and they show that improvement in strength, balance, gait, all levels of participation. All the studies that I will show you, we're looking for them just to have the right idea to work with the telerehabilitation, because telerehabilitation is not cheap, okay? And I will tell you that we realized this project just because we received a very important grant from a foundation. But we show to the foundation the good effort that we realized before, we also with HTA, Health Technology Assessment, just to realize this kind of project. And in this study, rehabilitation centers are increasingly using VOR programs to improve motor function, and which are reported as effective in recent literature. But, however, few consensus are made regarding the implementation of VOR in home setting. Telerehabilitation can be used as a prolongation to the regular post-clinical rehabilitation therapy to improve postural balance and cognitive disorder. The application of telerehabilitation can be seen as effective efficiency as results in more therapy compliance. You know that the study of telerehabilitation have a lot of bias because there are very different systems of telerehabilitation. So it's not easy to make the right consideration of every study because they use different devices. Okay, the Cochrane rehabilitation, in fact, say that, as you can see, it's hard to draw a conclusion about the effects as intervention and comparators varied greatly across studies. In addition, there were few adequately powered studies, and several studies were at risk of bias. So when they find this paper, it was a little problem because how to show to the authority that we need a lot of money to buy telerehabilitation, but we know that sometimes you have to step forward. And so if you believe in a project and there are other literature that you can support, and we need during the pandemic, and this was the main moment, during the pandemic moment, when we stay, us and all of us in the hospital to try to save the life of the patient. And at the beginning, we know very well in Italy what's happened. I don't know really what's happened in Spain, but I was in a hospital. In our hospital, we was 250 beds full of COVID patients in a terrible moment of this strategy. Well, how can you realize the telerehabilitation? In reality, there are three systems, but the two famous are, okay, I put them this side so you can see better, okay? And now, sorry, it's good? You can see better? Okay, great, perfect. Okay, synchronous, okay. Synchronous is based on two-way video conference with different kind of system. During the pandemic, I use also system with the privacy was outside of the window, but it was also the system to do it, for example, WhatsApp video. With the presence of the therapist, so the patients and the therapist work simultaneously, and the therapist delivers rehabilitation treatment in real time, okay? And this is easy. Asynchronous does not require the presence of a therapist and allows to provide self-administered computer-based exercise. Okay, you prepare the exercise, you give to the patient, and the patient do the exercise with the device that you give to him alone. But you can do also the mixed form. You can treat the patient in clinics, and then to give a device to the patient at home, and he can give at home alone. And so it's a good moment, it's a good strategy to see also the adherence of the patient. But don't run too much. Okay. This work at 2012 impacted rehabilitation for stroke-related deficit. Okay, recent review described type of stroke rehabilitation. This is a very interesting work. The review for telerehabilitation and evaluate whether telerehabilitation is as effective as traditional in-person outpatient therapy in improving satisfaction and post-stroke residual deficits, such as motor, speech, and disability. This is a randomized controlled trial of 34 studies, and they're talking about guided physical therapy, speech therapy, virtual reality, robot assistant training, and goal setting. And these are the results. TR is equally as effective as conventional clinical-based rehabilitation at improving functional outcomes after stroke. Patient satisfaction with TR may be higher, lower, or equivalent to clinical rehabilitation depending on methods and individual patient preference. The advantage of TR over traditional clinical therapy include increased accessibility and possibly decreased cost, making TR a valuable alternative for patients with financial, geographical, or transportation constraints. Then, integration of TR with other services such as home visit improves patient compliance. This is one of the work with whom we have the possibility to realize the project. And about the cognitive rehabilitation, wide cognitive. We start with the cognitive rehabilitation. I will show you the preliminary data. Okay, about the problem solving. This is a study of 103 persons with 4 kinds of strategy: online, computer-assisted, therapist-administered training, no treatment. And this approach in online group demonstrates that this approach could effectively improve cognitive functions. About the processing speed. This is a paper with only 36 patients, not too much, okay? That use two kind of devices and program. REA-CT VU 2.0 is a device that you simulated the activity daily living. It's very interesting and also very nice for the patient. And the results showed a positive impact on the rehabilitation and rehabilitation training with this system. In general, so the cognitive function, visual-spatial ability, executive functioning, and processing speed. This is not happened with the other system, that the classic treatment with the paper, with the pen, with the directly in present with the patient. Also about the aphasia and cognitive linguistic communication disorders. 44 participants with the tablet-based homework exercises or realistic customized treatment plans. And also in this case, the results was equivalent, okay? So you treat a patient in present or you treat with this system, the gain is the same. About the selective alternative attention, 40 patients divided into 2 groups, experimental group and control group. It was in 2 phases. The first phase was treated with the system of the Chimeia, the VUR system EVO for 3 months, and after the second period of 3 months, it was treated with another system of this industry with a home tablet. And the data show the effectiveness of telerehabilitation for the treatment with cognitive, with patient with cognitive disease with this method. Then, memory, short and long term. 46 stroke survivors with treatment with individual telehealth or face-to-face with the therapist, and the participants in both conditions demonstrate that efficacy is done. And what about the motor telerehabilitation in stroke? Well, we know that the 2023, the UK published the NICE guidelines about the stroke, and the specific area is about the telerehabilitation. And they made 3 important considerations. The first, consider rehabilitation instead of or as well face-to-face therapy. Sorry if my voice is loud, but it's time after dinner, lunch, and it begin louder, I advise you. The person after strokes agrees to this approach, or it is their preferred type of therapy. Do you remember what you saw before, right? Okay, now it's important that the patient would like to do this. And we know that the patient would like to have your hands. How many field therapists are here? No one. Bye bye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You know very well that the patient is very happy when you see you and you touch him and you do exercise. Okay. So because if you want to realize a good rehabilitation, he agreed to this strategy. It aligns with their hours rehabilitation and also his or her rehabilitation goals. Okay? On the contrary, rehabilitation you can throw outside the window. Second, ensure that anyone taking part in rehabilitation has, when need is provided, with the correct equipment, yes, correct and functioning equipment, and any training or technical support they need to use it. A technical observation, when you work with rehabilitation, is very important to have a technical support quickly, because if you have a problem and they answer you after a week, you lost the patient, the job, maybe, because they have to say, okay, I have some problem, so okay, you can go with your technology outside the window. And then monitor people who are taking part in rehabilitation to ensure they have benefits. It's normal, but you have to monitor it. Yes, it is lower. Okay. Have benefit from this method of delivering therapy, or are not developing symptoms and signs of depressions. Because sometimes they leave the telerehabilitation like, okay, you don't want to treat me more, you want to give me the rehabilitation at home, and so you don't see me. And I cry, and I don't work, I go to depression. This is another paper about the evaluated effects of home-based supervising rehabilitation on physical function for stroke patient with hemiplegia. Randomized, control, assigned, assessor blinded trial. It was the supervisor was randomly assigned to a home-based supervising rehabilitation group, a conventional rehabilitation group. Both the home-based rehabilitation and conventional rehabilitation demonstrate significant effects, not different, but both increasing in the test of modified Bartel and Berg balance test. No one is better than the other, but both improving. Another paper, single blind randomizer, conducted 20 training sessions of 35 minutes with a rehabilitation system 3 times a week in a clinic or home. And also in this case, significant improvement in both. Okay, just to show to our patient that if we treat with the right choice, they can improve in both matters. Another paper, also about the upper limb. Yes, it was divided in 2 groups, 62 stroke patients. Experimental group received a wrist-worn activity tracking device, providing multimodal feedback in daily arm use, and the control group, the same device without feedback. And at the end, there was the relevant difference between the groups regarding the upper limb capacity. It is a scale evaluation with 19 items and 4 under groups. And change in upper limb activity, but not in motor function. So you see that the patient move more, but about efficacy, not so different. A little moment about the telerehabilitation. Now, you know that 2012 was the horrible year for the planet, especially for my country. And finally, also during the tragedy in Italy, we work hard. Usually, in a peace period, it's very difficult. But in the tragedy, they decided to realize the national guidelines for provisional of telemedicine service. And what you see on the right side of this slide, Oh, well, what you don't see. Rehab. In fact, rehab is not considered. Until now, this is the news, until it's not considered. That is maybe a fortune for us because it's instead of televisit, teleconsultation, consulting, monitoring, etc., now there is a national platform that we have to use, and it's a very strange. We can use for 48 months, no fee. I don't know why, but I received this news and we are very happy. About the telerehabilitation, there is nothing. And so every regions or every area like me are working to create a system of telerehabilitation because there is nothing, absolutely nothing. And so we start about the project. But the project, how was born? How was born in 2012 because there is a foundation, very important, CRC. They have a lot of money. They decide to invest in telerehabilitation for my area, for another area very rich. I don't know if you know Nutella. You know Nutella? You know what is Nutella? Okay, Nutella is in Alba. Alba, there is Ferrero. Ferrero is the richest man in Italy. And they have a very big hospital, and also in an hospital in Cuneo, that is outside my area, and they invest in telerehabilitation. We decide 3 different projects, and we decide to start with the telerehabilitation. And we look for different devices, and this is my area. Okay, the red one is Piemonte, northwest, Cuneo ACLC1 with a red arrow, and this is the big ACLC1, where I'm director of rehabilitation and internal medicine, oncologia, and everything else. With the blue arrow, we are the 2 hospitals, we have the units with 65 beds. And with the yellow, we are the hospital where we work inside to make activity, and we have the clinics. And the green one is the main the site of the principal site of the ACLC1. But we have other 9 clinics in the area. And so we decided to buy this system. This system in the project was called Neurorrehabilitation, rehabilitazione. We work together with the Department of the children, okay, because they added us to this project for the young boys. And we buy this system. With this system have the control station, the homing studio, the little computer, and the homing station where the physiotherapist can work directly, speak directly with the patient at home, okay? But we also have, but it's possible to use what you want. Also, this strategy is a stabilometric system, because when you want to realize telerehabilitation, you have to sure to give safe exercise to the patient, because the lawyer are outside the door of the hospital. If you do an exercise and he broke his legs, that's the end of telerehabilitation, your career, and what you want. So we prepare this. The patient is made. Okay. Some pictures, just to show you, I'm not a seller. Just because you understand the system. Be clear. Okay. Okay. This system have also a part, and we are looking. We are thinking about the project about the health, but the health is something that is difficult to explain to the public authority. Just because, like the health was not so important, but the health for the health people is important because you maintain it healthily. But it's a language that they don't understand. Okay, We have the possibility, the library of exercises, when we can create it. We can create an exercise for a patient, orthopedic patient, because, okay, telerehabilitation is not only for this neurological patient, it's for all. We have realized a project where a cardiac patient was operated in cardiochirurgia. And we make a program of telerehabilitation with them with 6 sessions at home. We have exo games, and we have a big area of cognitive exercise, like, for example, entropia. And unfortunately, I haven't the video, but it's very nice when you taste, when we try to do the exercise with the healthy people, and you say, okay, you have to try to count the number of the bounce of the ball. At the same time, you have to count the number of the ball change the colors. And you say, well, it's easy, it's not a problem. Yes, 2 mistakes, 3 mistakes, 1 mistake, and we are healthy. Maybe. Okay, oppure look at me, and you do the exercise, not only the voice, but move your arm. And so we beginning to talk with somebody, I heard this morning, the dual task. And the news that we ask to the technobody is to work, is the possibility to work with a speech therapy. And we work, for example, with the Parkinson patients, because you know that the patient, when they speak, he try to speak with you, but loud, the voice can loud, can slow, and no, you have to speak in a matter that you maintain the ball inside the 60 dB and 75 dB. Well, I forgot to tell you one thing. We decided to take technobody because, as you know, during pandemic period, you have to touch no one. You have to clean everything. And this system have a video camera of 3D that capture your imagine and project your image to the screen very clear. So no devices on the patient. This is about what I showed you before is a new one, but it's to 2024. Now the COVID has gone. But at this time, if you touch somebody, if you remember, somebody love basketball? You know Godard, le basket player français? He say, no, COVID doesn't exist. He touched the microphone, he touched the table. The day after, COVID, 39 degrees at home. Okay, the target of this project was neurological patient, adult with post-stroke, other cerebral vascular injuries, severe acquired brain injuries, and also neurodegenerative illness, especially Parkinson. The criteria was this kind of patient, but the presence of caregivers and the internet connection. On the contrary, exclusion criteria was severe cognitive disease, impossible to interact with the technology, not available internet connection, and absence of caregivers. So the idea is to create programs will include cognitive, speech therapy, and motor rehabilitation. Homing system allows to create exercise in single task mode or dual task. We work as a team because in rehabilitation we work only as a team. The doctor doesn't work alone, the physiotherapist never, and also the speech therapy. We work always together. And the project, we start with the cognitive rehabilitation because we was lucky. We found a neuropsychologist that he worked dedicated to this project. This is the administration of neuropsychological assessment to establish a comprehensive cognitive profile of the patient. Quindi, global cognitive assessment, short term, all the tests that usually a neuropsychologist did. And the treatment guidelines was synchronous mode at the beginning and after asynchronous mode. The synchronous was each patient undergoes a rehabilitation intervention lasting at least 3 months after the stroke, preferably once a week, depending on the availability of both the patients and the healthcare providers. Also the availability of the system, because now we have a lot of patients that would like to work in this system and we have not enough. So we hope to find a new grant to buy it. Each patient participates in total 12 sessions, 12 meetings. First and last is evaluation, and 10 minutes, 1 a week of work. Then, at the end, we start with asynchronous mode at the patient's home. One of the important things, one of the important things of the project is that the patient begin to know the system. It is not a news you treat in a traditional way and you say, okay, from tomorrow, asynchronous at home with this system, try to do it. No, they work with the neuropsychology. He prepared the exercise to do at home, can maybe be more difficult or the same difficult, depends on the patient, and he will do the exercise at home. No cost charge, sign paper to assign the home involved. We are a public system and we can do it, okay? So we decided to give, the cost is free, I said you before, 350, no, 500 euros. But we give to the patient a monthly, approximately for a month. He maintains his at home. We go to the, if it's necessary, we send the therapist or the speech therapist or in this case, the neuropsychology at home. Install the system, but it's easy. You connect to the computer and that's it. Nothing to do more. And they work. Is it possible also to check the patient in synchronous mode? But we want to do this study now with an asynchronous mode. But we can check if the patient do or not the physiotherapy or the exercise. Because how many times the patient come back and say, do you realize the exercise? Yes. You test. He remembered nothing. So the global project outline is initial assessment, 12 session, final evaluation in session in clinics, and then home-based patient rehabilitation in asynchronous mode. Which are the risks? Okay, low compliance of patients and caregivers. We check the patient, but sometimes it's happened, and for the Parkinson project, we are in adherence of maybe near 80%, but there is a 20% of people that low compliance. Difficulty using the equipment, it happened at the beginning. Now there was a new evolution, so this problem disappeared. What I said to you before is surface availability of number of devices, difficult installing, and work in progress because we talk with Technobody, say we have more number of exercise for the rehabilitation cognitive. The potential is, okay, they expand it, increase inter-exercise variability because we note that some exercises or you are very, very difficult to the patient, or in our case, it's too easy, so we are changing that. We are working to develop a rehabilitation group. So this is an idea that comes from for the young boys in the other department, and they are working with autism and with the young guys, and they're working in group. And it's a good strategy. They are very happy about the results, so we are thinking to introduce it also in our areas, especially the patient that stay inside the rest house. In this matter, they can work together, they stay together. Okay, the idea is to make rehabilitation more accessible and user-friendly and increase compliance and engagement. There is a video on the, okay, this is what I said to you before, the Entropia, if you can launch, okay. It is 9, okay, try to count. how many? I don't have the answer, but I'll try to do it. Okay, how many rebounds? How many change the colors? And in this video, on the left side, the patient have moved their hands and touch what he see. Okay, verdura. Okay, it's vegetables. Where is the vegetables? Is a symbol or is letter? Okay. The current status of the project is 2024. I have time? 5 minutes? Okay. In the 2024, we was a previous project with the Parkinson, and we started. Now we are with 40 patient treatment, 40 minutes treated. And the second part of 2024, a small number of subjects after by stroke has been in charge. Also, we decide that, like the Marines, nobody stay behind. If we find people that can receive an advantage of telerehabilitation and would like to do telerehabilitation, we enroll it. In fact, now currently 20 patients with these different diagnoses. Okay, I don't want to demonstrate nothing now, okay? I want to show you the preliminary data of the patient that we're treating right now. It's a brain tumor, Huntington chorea, and stroke. And about all the area of the cognitive evaluation that we did, we have or improved or stable results. Short-term memory, improve not in the Huntington patient, but improve in the other two patients. Visual spatial, improve in all the patient. Long-term memory, improve in term immediate recall, delay recall, recognition. Selective attention, improve in the first two patients, not in the patient with Huntington disease. Alternative attention, performance improve or remain mostly stable. Phonemic fluency, improve or remain mostly stable. Semantic fluency, improve in the two patients, not in Huntington patient. And then in planning and deductive logical reason, improve in all patients. The trend of the other patient is good now, but I want to see the data, and after I see the data, we can say, okay, is a good strategy or not. But if I see this data and I see the data that I show you at the beginning of my speech, we are in line, we are online, we are the same level. So I think that it's a good strategy. This is a little piece of my team, because I'm very lucky. I have 125 physiotherapists, 15 speech therapy, and 2 neuropsychology. And before to end the speech, I want to be, and it doesn't matter of today, but I want to make a big thanks to these guys. I was born in Genoa, in my hometown in 1970, when I was 8 years old. In 2011, we have a big food with a mountain of mud. I start from Fossano, where I live, with some friends of mine, and I came here to help. But they are the real angel. And in Valencia, and really, I don't, no problem to say I cry when I see the same people start immediately to help people that didn't know, but they want to help in the terrible tragedy that you received. So I want to say thank you to these guys. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco. ¿Preguntas? Yeah, I have one question. If you have to select one telerehab device, which are the things that you said this should be included? I mean,
well, we decide this kind of device because we would like to have only one device for patient. Okay, we know that one size fits all is not absolutely true. But in this matter, we can treat a patient with a different kind of problem that he have. And also the possibility to realize the dual task, it can help us a lot to treat with the cognitive, but you can do the cognitive exercise if you stand on the balance pad and I try to do it on one foot, and I have to recognize but my abdominal and my muscle, and I have to control and to check on my body to do it. And I see that until now, this is a system that is the good answer for us. But you know, and today we heard from the previous speaker, technology is running. But until now, we are happy, and also because Technobody decided to invest a lot of money to develop the system in the area that we would like to have, speech therapy and cognitive. The cognitive is a system that they have for 1 year, it's only 1 year. Before there wasn't. Oh, finally. Damn me. You see weather? Okay. Tell me.
No, it's only, I didn't understand when exactly you start the program after the stroke or after the, yeah.
No, with the patient
yeah,
or,
for the
or
patient,
in Italy?
for the patient.
We start the program when the patient came out from the hospital, from the unit, and they go to the clinician, and we see that is it able to make the treatment also at home. Beyond 3 months, not before. Well, I don't know in Spain, but in Italy, when you unfortunately have a stroke, you stay in acute neurology or stroke unit, maybe 7, 10, it depends if there's a place in the unit. In a unit in Italy, you can stay 60 days in the public and in the private. After 60 days, for the public, if he needed to stay, he stay. In the private, they have a cut of the daily rate of the 60%. That for me is out of mind, because sometimes you have the patient that if you maintain the patient for 15 days, maybe he can control his trunk better, he can stand up better, or you start to walk. So you go directly to the, okay, if you need, to the clinic. And so maybe after, say, after 3 months, 3.5 months, it depends. For the Parkinson, the project is different. We find we evaluate Parkinson patient with the ONR scale 1 or 2, not 3. Okay. But if I come back next year, I will show you the result, the data of the Parkinson disease.
Also, I have a question, because it has been surprised because you combine like the hands-on model with the telerehab, which is something that if I want to prove telerehab, I just try telerehab, but I guess it's a good approach. But I was surprised because you have started with the cognitive. If I have to think, or at least the models or the technology that I know, most of them are for motor.
Yes.
You have to start with the cognitive, which means, and even if I have to think which is the ideal patient for the telerehab, I will suggest that is the cognitive and normal cognitive patient, because he's the one who can use the telerehab because he's cognitive well.
No, well, we started with the cognitive for 2 motives. First, because we find a grant to have the neuropsychologists that he can work only with kind of patient. And second, because we received the technology later. We start now with some patient with motor retardation, but it's easier if you want to treat with the telerehabilitation a patient with cognitive, because as I said before, it's different for the patient after 3 months of treatment in present, in clinical, and I touch you, you touch me, we touch together, and they say, okay, from tomorrow, and you see that with a synchronous and asynchronous. Asynchronous is, okay, you go at home and you make exercise alone. So at this point, we are starting, but the patient not so available to make a treatment exclusively telerehabilitation. So we are doing a mixed one in motor, and we want to arrive to say to the patient, especially for the chronic stroke, to make this kind of strategy in telerehabilitation.
Yeah, because I think that the patient, if he has touched the technology at the clinic, he feel like a part of the process.
No, we explained very well. But you see on the way side, and we saw on the other side, we decided, okay, you try the technology, you feel confidence with the technology. No, the next time you come, you open the technology, you see where you have to touch it. Because okay, now you are ready to use the technology at home. And this is why until now, the adherence is very, very high. At the beginning, I was a little bit afraid because when you say not here, but at home, the patient say, but I pay, etc., etc., etc. Now, we find we discovered that it's a good strategy to introduce the patient.
¿Alguna pregunta, Carmen?
Thank you. And congratulations on your speech. I think it's very interesting for get the treatment to all the people and for a long time. No, I think it's a good idea. I have a question. How can you check the patient is doing the exercise and not only turn on and then go to see?
No, the system registered. So we can connect it to the patient and we can see if he did exercise and how he did exercise. So we can make an adjustment, for example, for exercise, if the patient had a problem and he say, I can do it, the same exercise that I did in the hospital. So we check with them. No.
It's recording, no?
Yes, recording, absolutely. Yes. It was the problem at the beginning because the treatment of the data, we talk with the privacy reference of the hospital, what at the end, like our other things, we find a solution, and so this is possible to treat because the data is not is half anonymized, so it's difficult to say which patient is, but we can with a direct contact with the system see how the patient did. This is what important. The project about the adherence. Because you tell me what you want. You say, I made exercise every day. For the cognitive, the exercise are daily. Yeah. We want that the patient makes the exercise daily. Mm-hmm. And this is why we are looking good results. Mm-hmm. And we hope that at the end of the study, we say, okay, we spend nothing because the money comes from the foundation, but we are also always public money. So for me, the public money is holy. So I have to use the public money in the right way. Mm-hmm. And so in this matter, we talk to the patient, what's the problem? Okay, I am illness. I'm in a hospital because I have another stroke. Okay, this is a good motive to not do an exercise. But on the contrary, we check it every time.
Okay, thank you, Marco.